The joy.
It's another name for the boss, because of the joy she feels in battle, I suppose.
Ah.
During the war, she had a partner named the Sorrow. Sorrow and joy. They say there couldn't have been a more perfect pair.
Welcome back to Character Conversions, where I try to bring fictional characters to life in D&D. Today we will build the Spirit Medium Soldier of the Cobra Unit, the Sorrow. Now in the game, the Sorrow is already dead. You see his spirit throughout the game, and you only directly interact with him during your near-death experience. That is clearly a specially made encounter designed by the GM. With the Sorrow, we will be trying to represent him as he most likely appeared during life. For stats, we'll be using the standard array of the player's handbook, divided up as you see here. Our primary stat is Dexterity, with our secondary being Intelligence. I don't imagine the Sorrow as the best in a direct confrontation if he doesn't have to, and perhaps being more of a skill-focused build. For race, like the rest of the Cobra unit, the Sorrow will be human. Variant human will increase our Dexterity and Intelligence by 1 each, to 16 and 15 respectively. For our skill of choice, we will grab Persuasion, and for our feat, we will take Actor, increasing our Charisma to 14 and giving us advantage on deception checks when impersonating someone else. Background will of course be Soldier. This gives us proficiency with Athletics and Intimidation. We gain proficiency with a gaming set of our choice, as well as land vehicles, and our background feature is Military Rank. The name of the Cobra unit still carries weight in the right circles. The Sorrow was known to be able to summon the dead and assume their combat abilities by bringing their spirits into himself. He would also communicate with the dead to learn of enemy positions and strategies. For our purposes, the Sorrow will be a single class build. We're going with Phantom Rogue from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. This will grant us all the abilities we need. Whispers of the Dead allows us to gain proficiency with 1 new skill or tool each short or long rest as a ghostly presence shares its knowledge with us. Wails from the Grave allows us to a number of times per long rest equal to our proficiency bonus, deal half our sneak attack dice and necrotic damage to someone within 30 feet when we deal our sneak attack damage to someone else. This gives us a slight representation of the Sorrow sending the spirits of those you have killed at you. Tokens of the Departed lets us as a reaction create a soul trinket from someone when they die within 30 feet. We can have a number of these equal to our proficiency bonus at one time, and we can use a soul trinket to give ourselves advantage on death saving throws and constitution saves so long as it is on our person. When we deal sneak attack damage, we can destroy a soul trinket to immediately use Wails from the Grave without expending one of its uses, and finally as an action we can destroy a soul trinket to ask the spirit one question. The spirit appears and speaks the languages anew in life. It is under no obligation to be truthful, and it answers as concisely as possible, eagle to be free. Ghostwalk will allow us to assume a spectral form as a bonus action for 10 minutes or until we end it as another bonus action. This gives us a flying speed of 10 feet, the ability to hover, and attacks against us have disadvantage. We can pass through creatures and objects as though they were difficult terrain, but take 1d10 force damage if we end our turn in a creature or an object. We can do this once per long rest or destroy a soul trinket to gain an additional use. Finally, Death Knell allows us to deal necrotic damage to the first creature we hit with a sneak attack, as well as the second. At the end of a long rest, a soul trinket will appear in our hand if we don't already have one. Ultimately, I find the Phantom Rogue to be a perfect representation of how I imagine the Sorrow in life, and it even feels like you can imitate some of the feel of his boss fight. For additional feats, I recommend picking up Mobile, Linguist, and maybe even Skilled. Mobile is always nice for a rogue and will also help us with our Ghost Walk, as we will be able to move through creatures and objects without treating them as difficult terrain. Linguist is because when we question the dead, they have to speak in languages they knew in life, so you want to be able to speak as many languages as possible. The main strategy of the build is less direct combat and more of a skill monkey build. We use our spirit trinkets to find valuable information from the dead, use expertise and Actor to better convince or trick a spirit into giving you information it otherwise wouldn't. When forced into battle, we rely on our sneak attack to damage combined with Wails of the Grave and Ghost Walk to boost our defense. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment your opinions or suggestions for new builds. I hope all your 20s are natural. See you next time.